I killed my best friend today. Not with a gun or a knife. Nothing that dramatic, but by slipping into her skin like a ghost in a borrowed dress, whispering poison into the ears of everyone she ever loved, until they turned on her like wolves. And as I watched her shatter, piece by jagged piece, I felt the first real spark of joy since the day she stole my life. Call it justice or call it madness, either way, the cops are coming for her now. And I'm sipping coffee in her penthouse, wearing her face, wondering if hell has room for two. It started with a betrayal so deep it carved out my soul and left me bleeding in a courtroom. Innocent, but branded guilty. Emily, my ride or die since kindergarten, the sister I never had framed me for embezzling millions from the hedge fund where we both worked. She did it to cover her own tracks, her gambling debts piling up like unpaid IOUs to the mob. But I took the fall because the evidence she planted was airtight. My fingerprints on the transfers, my login on the servers, my alibis shredded by forged timestamps. 5 years in federal prison for a crime that wasn't mine, while she climbed the ladder to VP, toasting champagne with the very sharks who devoured me. Prison smells like regret soaked in bleach, stale sweat, institutional chow, and the faint metallic tang of despair that clings to the bars like rust. I remember my first night in Danbury, back in 2020, when the world was still choking on COVID and the guards handed out masks like they were party favors. I was Ruby Hayes then, 28, fresh-faced paralegal turned fall guy. My auburn curls hacked short because long hair meant weakness in a place like this. Emily's face haunted me from the glossy magazines she'd send, care of her fake sympathy notes. Miss you, Rubes. Stay strong.
Yeah, right.
Those notes were her victory laps, reminders that she'd won. I trusted her with everything. We grew up in the same Brooklyn brownstone block, dodging our drunk dads and dreaming big over stolen bodega candy. She was the firecracker, all sharp wit and sharper heels. I was the steady one, crunching numbers while she charmed the clients. When she got us into Sterling Capital, that Wall Street Viper pit, it felt like we'd made it. Late nights in the glass tower overlooking the Hudson, fueled by Red Bull and Adderall, plotting our escape to the Hamptons. But Emily had a shadow side, a itch she scratched with underground poker games in Jersey warehouses, where the stakes were cash and the losers were broken. The feds raided Sterling on a tip, anonymous. Of course. By dawn, I was in cuffs, Emily playing the shocked colleague on CNN, her eyes wide as saucers. Ruby was always ambitious. I never saw this coming. The trial was a circus, prosecutors painting me as the Black Widow of finance, defense attorney folding like a cheap suit because the firm's lawyers pulled funding. Jury deliberated 2 hours. Guilty on all counts. Wire fraud, money laundering, the works. 15 years. Reduced to 5 with good behavior if I didn't shank anyone. Emily visited once. Through the plexiglass, her Chanel perfume fogging the divider. I'm so sorry, Ruby. It was a mistake. Mistake? She'd rerouted 30 mil through my accounts, pinned it on me to save her own ass from the Albanian bookies who'd waterboard her boyfriend for unpaid vig.
Inside,
time stretched like taffy. I lifted weights in the yard, read every law book in the library, and plotted. Not escape plots, those were for amateurs, but the slow burn of revenge. I'd whisper to the lifers about Emily's type, ambitious bitches who stab you in the back for a promotion. They'd laugh. But I filed it away, building a mental dossier. Letters from Mom dried up after year 2. She couldn't handle the shame. Dad? Dead from the bottle before I went in. Friends ghosted. Only Grandpa Hayes kept the faith. That old coot from the Adirondacks, who'd made his fortune in rare earth minerals back when Silicon Valley was just orchards. He wrote weekly, cryptic missives about the family legacy and boxes that bite back. Schizophrenic ramblings, I thought, until the stroke took him in 23. Parole hearing came like a fever dream. Boardroom in Hartford. Fluorescent buzz. Suits staring me down. MS.
Hayes.
You've shown remorse? Remorse? For what? Breathing? I nodded. Scripted lines about rehabilitation and fresh starts. They bought it. Out in 24. World remade in my absence. Trump back in the White House. Crypto crashing again. Emily now a fixture on CNBC. The queen of quants. I crashed at a halfway house in Queens, flipping burgers at a Shake Shack for $9 an hour. My felony rap sheet a neon no to every job app. Nights. I'd scroll her Insta. Private jet to Aspen. Engagement to that tech bro. Harlan Voss. Heir to Voss Dynamics. The drone empire. Power couple goals. While I scavenged dumpsters for half-eaten fries. The box arrived on a Tuesday. FedEx signature required. No return address. Brown cardboard. Reinforced with duct tape. Addressed in Grandpa's spidery scrawl. For Ruby, open alone. The last gift.
Inside.
Amid yellowed letters and a tarnished pocket watch, sat the device, sleek black obelisk, 6 inches tall, humming faintly like a trapped hornet. No instructions, just an inscription etched in Latin, Grandpa's flair for the dramatic, corpus mutere.
Anima vincere.
Google translated it loose. Change the body, conquer the soul. Sci-fi bullshit, right? But when I thumbed the capstone, a jolt like static electricity spiderwebbed at my arm, and my reflection in the cracked mirror flickered. Not my face, hers. Emily's. For a split second, then back. Heart pounding. I slammed it shut. What the hell was this? Grandpa's legacy, some black market neural swapper from his mining days in Congo, where he dabbled in experimental psychotropics for the CIA. Rumors in his letters. Deals with shadow ops.
Tech that bent reality.
I tested it small. Late night. Halfway house quiet. I pricked my finger on the obelisk's edge. Blood welled. Absorbed like ink in blotting paper.
Closed eyes.
Intent locked. Emily's brownstone in Soho. Vertigo hit like a bad trip. World dissolving in pixels. Then her kitchen. Marble counters gleaming under undercab lights. Her body heavy with last night's wine. I gagged at the unfamiliar curves. The citrus shampoo in her hair. Mirror check, Emily Voss. Née Hargrove. Staring back. 33 and flawless. Panic clawed. But the swap held. How long? No clue. I rifled drawers, bank statements showing clean ledgers now. Her old debts vanished into Voss money. A safe, Harlan's love notes, diamond earrings, and a burner phone with text to lowlifes. Debt cleared. No more. She'd bought silence with my sacrifice. Dawn broke. I swapped back. Obelisk warm in my palm.
Power. Raw.
Unfiltered. Emily had stolen 5 years. I'd take her empire. Brick by brick. But revenge isn't a sprint, it's a marathon with landmines. First move. Infiltrate. I needed access. Intel. Harlan's firm, Voss Dynamics, was the key. Drones for the military. Surveillance tech that made the NSA blush. Emily consulted there. Her quant brain greasing deals worth billions. Controversial? Hell yes. Those drones dropped hellfire on weddings in Yemen. But profits rolled in. I applied as a temp admin. Felony scrubbed via a shady expungement service. $500.
Cash.
Interview. Past is past. MS.
Haze.
We value second chances. Irony tasted like ash. Week 1. I was in the mailroom, sorting NDAs thicker than my cell block Bible. Emily breezed past, power suit hugging her like a second skin, not sparing me a glance. Up close. She was sharper, crow's feet from stress. Laugh lines etched deeper. Guilt?
Nah.
Just the grind. I eavesdropped. Board meetings on Project Echo, a neural interface for drone pilots, mind-merge tech. Straight out of Grandpa's wet dreams. Harlan pushed it hard. Emily crunching the algorithms. Twist of fate. The obelisk hummed in my locker. Sinking vibes? I swapped during lunch.
Her office now mine.
Files galore. Echo's beta tests on convicts, paralyzed vets piloting from wheelchairs. But glitches frying synapses. Emily's notes. Ethical concerns noted. But ROI justifies. Cold bitch. Deeper dive. Her emails. Flirty threads with Harlan. But buried. Correspondence with Sterling's old brass. Payoffs to bury the scandal. And me. A folder labeled loose end. Photos from prison visits. Psych evals she'd anonymously leaked to tank my parole. Rage boiled. But I played cool. Swapped back. Planted a seed. Anonymous tip to HR about irregular access logs on Emily's machine. Nothing stuck. But paranoia seeded. Nights. In my Roach motel. I'd activate the obelisk partial. Feel her pulse. Hear her thoughts fragment. She dreamed of me. Nightmares of bars closing in.
Good.
The first real strike. Harlan's birthday gala. Met steps. A-listers in black tie. I couldn't crash as me. So swap pre-party. Her walk-in closet a cavern of silk and sin. I chose emerald gown. Diamonds choking my throat. Mirror lied. It was her smirking back. Limo to the gala. Champagne flute steadying nerves. Harlan greeted me with a kiss that tasted like mint and entitlement. Babe, you look killer. Kill?
Oh.
I would. Mingling, senators, celebs, tech bros high on their own supply. I cornered Harlan's rival, a whistleblower type named Dr. Lena Kaur, who'd sued over Echo's test subjects. Emily confided doubts, leaked a drive with redacted files, enough to spark headlines without fingering her. Controversial? Leaking military tech secrets to a journalist? In Trump's America. That was treason light. But Lena promised discretion. Back in her skin post-gala. I swapped to her bed, Harlan snoring, oblivious. I whispered in his ear. Sleep talk. Ruby knows. She's coming. He stirred, but dismissed at dawn. Seed planted. Emily woke hungover, puzzled by the drive's absence. I'd wiped it clean.
Her calls to IT frantic.
I laughed from afar. Obelisk purring approval. But cracks showed. Swaps drained me, migraines like ice picks. Blackouts where her memories bled in. Childhood fights. First kiss. The night she framed me. Tears as she hit send on the transfers. For us both. Rubes. You'll see. Delusion. Power shifted. I wasn't just borrowing her life. I was rewriting it. Next phase. Turn her allies. Starting with Harlan. Harlan Voss was the American dream distilled to its toxic essence. Trust fund kid turned disruptor. Ivy League polish over a core of cutthroat greed. 6'4". Blonde as a Viking. With eyes like laser sights, always scanning for weakness. He met Emily at a Davos afterparty. Or so the myth went. Truth was seedier. A hookup at Burning Man where she crunched his festival finances on a whim. By 22, they were engaged. Voss dynamics stock tripling on her models. But I knew his type from prison tales, men who build empires on broken backs. Then yacht away. Swapping into Emily for intimate nights was violation squared, her body responding to his touch. A betrayal my own nerves echoed. I'd endure. Probing pillow talk. Echoes gold.
Eminencia.
Mind a drone link? We're gods. I'd murmur agreements. Then twist. But the glitches, those vets in comas. What if it leaks? He'd laugh. Rollover. Collateral. Like your old pal Ruby. Necessary evil. My blood, her blood iced. Necessary? I'd make him choke on that word. First fracture. I accessed his phone during a swap. Her manicure scrolling his texts. Affair alerts, late nights with an intern. Tasha, code for table for two at Le Bernardine. Blackmail gold. But too crude. Instead, I forwarded snippets to Emily's work email. Anonymous sender. Loyalty. She confronted him at brunch. Mimosas turning to accusations. I watched from a coffee shop across Central Park. Obelisk in pocket vibrating like a guilty conscience. Harlan gaslit her masterfully. Baby, it's spam. You know I love you. But doubt wormed in, her therapy app booking spiked. Sessions ranting about trust issues from the past.
Meanwhile,
my day self clawed upward. Temp gig evolved to junior analyst when a Voss exec noticed my Excel wizardry. Irony. Skills honed in prison accounting classes. Office politics American as apple pie, backstabbing memos. DEI quotas as shields for dead weight. I bonded with Lena Core over vending machine chats. She was the conscience Voss ignored. Indian-American firebrand with a PhD in neuroethics. Echoes of Frankenstein, she'd say. Voice low. I'd nod. Drop hints. Heard Emily's pushing overrides on safety protocols. Lena's eyes narrowed. Hook set. Emily's unraveling accelerated. Headlines hit. Voss Dynamics drone tech leaked. Ethical nightmare? Lena's doing my fuel. Board summoned her. I swapped in for the grilling. Her power blazer, a armor cracking. These files are fabricated, she spat. But Quaver betrayed her. Harlan backed her publicly. My fiancé's integrity is ironclad, but privately? Text flew. What the fuck?
Ain't.
Fix this. I intercepted. Replied as her. On it. Need space. He bought it. But paranoia peaked. Private I hired. Tailing suspicious contacts.
Me?
Clean as a whistle. Flipping burgers on off days. Deeper secret unearthed. The frame job's root. In her memories. Bleeding through swaps. Emily's voice over the night. Harlan's pressure. Babe. Sterling's bleeding us. Cook the books. Blame the newbie.
Newbie? Me.
She'd hesitated. But his ring, 10 carats, promise of stability sealed it. Betrayal layered. Not just greed, but love's blindfold. She'd borne no guilt then.
But now?
Therapy transcripts I hacked. I destroyed her for him. What if he leaves? Vulnerable.
Perfect.
Controversial pivot. I targeted their circle. First, her brother, Jake, NYPD detective, Blue wall of silence. Swap to family dinner in Queens. Her mom's lasagna steaming. Jake. Buzz cut and brooding. Toasted. To M. Queen of the castle. I steered talk. Jake. That old case, sterling fraud. Ever wonder if they pinned it right? His fork paused. Why bring up Ruby? Water under. But Seed, I slipped him a USB, redacted evidence. My anonymous source. Days later. Internal Affairs pinged his desk. Emily's call to him frantic. What did you do? He denied. But rift widened. Family Thanksgiving canceled. Powers aphrodisiac. But lonely. My halfway house life frayed. Rumi suspected my side gigs. Obelisk hidden under mattress like contraband. Migraines worsened. Visions of grandpa. Use it wisely.
Girl.
It takes as it gives. What price? Black spots in vision. Phantom itches where her tattoos ghosted my skin. But momentum built. Lena approached. Ruby, right? You remind me of someone gutsy. We coffeed. I confessed history with Emily.
Vague.
She burned me bad. Lena's network, journalists, activists. I fed them crumbs. Echoes human trials on undocumented migrants. Paid pennies for volunteering. Climax brewed at the Voss holiday party. Rockefeller Center. Tree lights twinkling like false stars. Swap as Emily. Harlan's arm possessive. I cornered his father. The elder Voss, stroke slurred but sharp. Girl. You're trouble. Harlan says you're slipping. I leaned in. Wine breath hot. Slipping? Or seeing clear? Echoes a lawsuit magnet. Ask the coma wards. His eyes bulged. Whispers spread. Harlan pulled me aside. Grip bruising. What the hell? I twisted free. Her voice steel. Truth hurts. Darling. He slapped me once.
Light.
But cameras caught it. TMZ by morning. Voss airs fiancé and abuse scandal? Back in my skin. Nursing a phantom welt. I watched fallout. Emily's real self hold up.
Calls to lawyer stacking.
Harlan's apologies via text. I drafted as her. We're done. Protect yourself.
No.
Wait, controversy. I didn't send. Let her stew. Instead, I escalated. Anonymous post to Wall Street bets. Voss Dynamics Insider, Echo fries brains. DD below. Stock dipped 8%. Short circling. Emily blamed hackers. Harlan eyed her. Trust? Shredded. But Twist's shadow loomed. In a deep swap, her mind fully mine for hours, I uncovered the chasm. Harlan knew. From the start. His text to Emily preframe. Make it clean. Ruby's expendable. He'd orchestrated. Using her as pawn for clean books. Dodging IRS audits on drone slush funds. Betrayal cubed. She wasn't villain's soul. He was the architect. Her the reluctant hammer. Rage purified. No more games, total war. Final push. Board ouster vote. I swapped for it. Emily poised in the oak-paneled room. Hudson view mocking. Presentations droned. Harlan's eyes bored in. My turn. I glitched. Obelisk remote pulsing from my locker. Screen flickered, not charts. But Harlan's emails. Payoffs to Albanian lenders. My name in crosses.
Gasps.
What is this? Chairwoman demanded. I feigned shock. Hacked? Harlan.
Chaos.
He lunged. But security swarmed. Arrest? No. Internal purge. But Seed. Fed circling. Swap out. exhausted. I collapsed in Queens. News blared. Voss Dynamics implosion. Fiancé points finger. Emily's face, my face, on every channel.
Tear-streaked.
She'd think victory. It was pyre. Unraveling a life is like pulling a sweater thread. Starts tidy, ends in a heap of wool and regret. Emily's empire. That glittering facade of boardrooms and brunches. Frayed fast post-leak. Voss stock cratered 22% in a week. Analysts howling governance failure. Harlan holed up in the Hamptons. Lawyers building moats. While Emily faced the wolves alone. I savored it from the shadows. My analyst desk now a foxhole with a view. Lena became ally true. Coffee turned to strategy sessions in her Brooklyn walk-up. Samosas steaming as we plotted. Ruby, you're a ghost in their machine, she'd say. Eyes alight. Ghost? Demon? More alike. Swaps grew riskier. Duration stretched to days. But toll mounted. I'd wake in my bed. Her perfume on sheets. Memories grafting. Her first betrayal kiss with Harlan. Salt of tears. Ethical rot set in. Was I better? Puppeteering her like a meat marionette? American justice. Innocent till profitable. But pause for scruples?
Nah.
Grandpa's watch ticked reminder. Time's the thief. Steal it back. Emily's isolation deepened. Her friends, those Park Avenue phonies, ghosted. Invites drying like autumn leaves. I swapped for a girls' night at St. Ambrius. Her usual haunt. But table empty save one. Tessa. The intern. Bitter ex-mistress. Nursing grudge. As Emily, I coaxed, Harlan's a snake.
Tess.
Tell me everything. She spilled affair details. His rages. Echoes dark tests. Convicts mind-linked to drones. Crashing simulations into real strikes. He laughed when they flatlined. Recording app running. I hugged her goodbye. Swap out mid-cab ride. Audio to Lena, viral by dawn. Podcasters dubbing it DroneGate. Fallout seismic. Protests outside Voss HQ. Vets in wheelchairs. Signs. Not collateral. SEC subpoenaed Harlan. Emily named co-conspirator. Her calls to Jake. Voicemails pleading. Bro. Help, it's all crumbling. He's stonewalled. My USB poison working. Family rift? Mom's Facebook post. Proud of my son. The real hero. Emily's response blocked. My ascent accelerated. With chaos. Voss needed insiders. I pitched a forensic audit memo. Numbers singing redemption. Promoted to mid-level quant. Badge granting server access. Irony peaked. Auditing the fraud I'd seeded. Nights. Obelisk sessions delved Harlan's mind. Swaps into him now. Bulky frame alien. His scotch breath sour. His thoughts. Paranoia loops. Emily's turning. Cut her loose. Plans to frame her anew. Divert Echo funds to offshore. Pin laundering on her.
Classic.
I whispered doubts in his ear during board calls. She's talking to feds. He bit. Confronting her in the penthouse, I dual-swapped. Feeling both sides. Her fear. His fury. Clash recorded via smart fridge cam I'd hacked as her. Slaps turned shoves. Vase shattering like trust. TMZ gold. Voss violence. Fiancé flees. She didn't flee. Checked into the Carlisle. Spa treatments masking bruises. I visited as myself. Porter delivering. Orchids from a friend. Note inside. Karma's a bitch. Her scream echoed in my vision. Controversial crux. The migrants. Lena's network uncovered Echo's underbelly. Border crossers lured with green card lies. wired to drones for training. Fatal errors, 3 dead in simulations bleeding to reality. I leaked manifests, redacted, to ProPublica. Headlines, Voss's invisible victims. Stock halved, Harlan's arrest loomed. But twist nod, Emily's notes in the files, halt trials. Morally bankrupt. She'd fought him.
Lost.
Pawn again? My rage forked. Hate her less.
Him more.
Escalation. I targeted his core. The board. Swap as Harlan for a emergency meeting. His Seville rose suit stiff. I confessed doubts. Echoes toxic. Emily pushed too hard. Fingers pointed. Her invites revoked. Real Emily. Summonsed. Arrived broken, panda eyes. Voice crack. This isn't me. Someone's gaslighting. They laughed her out. Harlan's real self.
Post-swap.
Puzzled by the minutes. Did I say that? Personal toll crested. Mid-swap in her spa suite. Obelisk faltered, glitch. Vision doubling. Her core self-surfaced. Fighting. Ruby? Get out. Struggle mental. Like wrestling smoke. I wrenched free. Collapsing in Voss bathroom.
Coworkers pounding.
You okay? Haze. Lie smooth. Low blood sugar. But damage, scars psychic. Her phobia's now mine, claustrophobia in elevators. Whiskey aversion. Revenge's high faded to hollow. Lena noticed. You're changing? Ruby. Don't lose yourself. Herself? I'd lost Ruby long ago. Prison's forge. But momentum. Feds raided Voss. Harlan cuffed on live TV. Sputtering witch hunt. Emily's interrogation. I swapped in. Her cell cold. Agent Ramirez. No nonsense Latina. MS.
Voss.
Your partner's dirty. Flip. As her. I nodded. Everything. Starting with the frame, Ruby Hayes was innocent. Wait, what? Impulse. Or mercy glitch.
No strategy.
She'd take the heat. I'd walk free.
Out.
Swap seamless. Emily's real self. Post-grill. Broken. Lawyer advising plea.
Her call to me, wait.
To Ruby Hayes, traced via leak. Voicemail. If this is you.
Why?
I did it for us. Us. Delusion died hard. Climax brewed. Harlan's bailout hearing. I attended as myself. Back row anonymity. His eyes scanned. Landing recognition?
No.
Just ghosts. Judge denied. Remanded. Emily's plea deal. 5 years. Same as mine. Poetic. But Harlan's whisper to counsel. Overheard. Find the leak. It's her, the ex-con. Hunted now. Obfuscate. Plant false trails. Swaps to dead-end leads. Lena sheltered me. Her loft debunker. We're exposing them all. Alliance deepened, sparks. Maybe more. American romance, built on ruins. But Obelisk warned, pulses erratic. Grandpa's voice, balance tips. Price coming. Emily's trial loomed. I'd testify as victim. Twist the knife. Reckoning's a southern word. But in New York, it's just Tuesday, bills due. Grudges collected. Emily's trial hit like a nor'easter. Federal courthouse in Foley Square. Paparazzi swarming like locusts. I prepped as witness. Subpoenaed for the Sterling fraud tie-in. My testimony? Bulletproof. Polished by Lena's mock sessions. She framed me. Your Honor. For Harlan's sake. Jury blue-collar mix. Midtown dreams deferred. Ate it up. Emily. Orange jumpsuit clashing her palette. Stare daggers. Recognition flickered.
Nah.
Denial's blinders thick. Harlan's empire crumbled parallel. Vast dynamics seized. Assets frozen. He rotted in MCC. Trading suits for stripes. Plotting appeals from a 6x8. I swapped once more into him last time. Obelisk, scorching palm. His cell. Concrete echo. Regrets stacking. Thoughts. Emily ratted.
Bitch.
No remorse for me. The catalyst. I etched memory. His fear of rats. Prison staple.
Petty. Healing.
Public devoured the saga. Podcasts dissected. The Voss betrayal. Netflix circling rights. I dodged spotlights. Lena's face my shield. Our nights blurred lines. Wine fuel debates on ethics. Her hand on mine. Ruby. This power, yours. It's a drug.
Truth.
Swaps tapered, dependency waned, but addiction lingered. Emily's defense crumbled. Jake testified reluctant. Sis changed after Harlan. Greed. Mom absent. Shame too raw. Prosecutors paraded evidence, my old logs. Her confessions coerced. Verdict day. Guilty. 10 years. She collapsed. Whale animal. I met her eyes across the gallery, hers pleading, mine stone. Justice, I mouthed. Liar. It was vengeance, sweet as forbidden fruit. Post-trial high crashed. Feds knocked at Lena's. MS.
Haze.
Questions on leaks. Harlan's doing his counsel sniffing. I bolted. Obelisk my compass. Sublet in Harlem. Gig economy grind. Uber Eats by day. Shadow ops by night. Swaps minimal. Scout Harlan's visitors. Plant doubts in lawyers' ears. Controversial? Tampering light. But ends justify. Twists whisper grew. Buried files in Emily's cloud. Accessed via fading link. Not just frame, Grandpa's shadow. Harlan's firm supplied drones to haze minerals in 18. Shady Congo ops. Grandpa cut ties. But Harlan blackmailed. Expose conflict minerals ties unless Emily cooked books. She did, for family legacy. Shielding Grandpa's rep. My fall? Collateral for his sins. Betrayal inverted. She protected me. Indirectly. From deeper rot. Rage imploded. Grandpa's box? Not gift, curse. Mine from the same vein. Letters reread. Forgive the unforgivable. Ruby. Some debts eternal. He'd known. Sent the obelisk as absolution tool. But whose? Mine. Or hers? Confrontation brewed. Emily's appeal hearing, I swapped in. Her transport been rattling to court. Her mind weary. Ruby. If you're there. End it. I didn't, whispered truth. Harlan used you. For Grandpa. Shock rippled. Fight sparked. Real her. In court. Recanted plea. New evidence. Coerced. Judge balked. But mistrial motion filed. Chaos renewed. Harlan caught wind, his cells swap. Desperate. Ruby? The device, your grandpa's tech. I tested it first. Revelation. He'd stolen obelisk prototype from Congo Dig. Used on convicts for echo betas. Mind swaps to drones. Souls shattered. Emily didn't know. I did. Villain unmasked, but complicit. My decision. Expose all. Lena's help. Manifesto drafted. Voss's horrors. Obelisk's origin. My role veiled as whistleblower kin. Posted to WikiLeaks Mirror. Viral Inferno. Harlan suicided in cell. Pills smuggled. Note. Ends now. Emily freed pending retrial. Plea vacated. She surfaced.
Gaunt.
Eyes haunted. Our meet. Central Park bench. Autumn leaves falling like confetti. Ruby, she rasped. No denial. The swaps, I felt you. Confession poured. Love for Harlan blinded, but regret carved deep. I thought prison would break you less than truth. Absurd logic. American denial. Forgiveness?
No.
But understanding, tentative bridge. Lena waded across the lake. Our future hazy. Obelisk? Smashed in the Hudson. Ripples fading. Power's illusion. Real change? Grinding? Unglamorous. But debate lingered. Hero or monster? I'd stolen lives to reclaim mine. Ends messy. Emily walked free-ish. Voss dust.
Me?
Rebuilt. Scars and all. Aftermath's the hangover of hubris, head pounding. Regrets queuing like bad debts. Emily's retrial dragged into 26. Media circus reloaded. Redemption or reckoning? She pled to misdemeanor oversight. Probation and restitution, my $5 million back. Plus interest. Symbolic, money couldn't stitch souls. We circled, wary. Coffee meets in neutral cafes. Dissecting the wreckage. Harlan twisted us both, she'd say. Stirring sugar like stirring ghosts. I'd nod. But trust? Fractured mosaic. Pieces sharp. Lena and I solidified. Her loft became home. Samosas to fusion dates, tacos al pastor with ethics debates. You saved lives. Ruby. Drones grounded. Trials halted. Voss remnants sued into oblivion. Migrants compensated via class action. Hero badge? Felt heavy.
Tarnished.
Nightmares persisted. Harlan's eyes in the dark. Obelisk hum echoing. Grandpa's legacy unpacked. Estate lawyers called. Adirondack cabin mine. Crates of journals. Pages yellowed. Tales of Congo shadows, mutair tech. CIA bribes for enhanced interrogation swaps. He'd quit ashamed. Box his penance. For the wronged, he'd written.
Me?
Wronged thrice. Emily's hand. Harlan's scheme. Grandpa's sins. Closure? Partial. Emily rebuilt quiet. Therapy practice for white-collar fall guys. Irony embraced. Paying forward, she'd quip. Brooklyn accent thick. Jake thawed. Family dinners awkward, but thawing. Mom's lasagna a peace offering. Betrayal's scar faded to ache. My path. Voss dissolved. I consulted Independence Ethical AI. Lena's firm. TEDx talk pending. From frame to freedom. Applause lines. Revenge isn't justice. It's mirror. Truth half. The thrill lingered. Dark thrill. Twists echo. One swap remnant. Emily's laugh in my throat. Occasional. Shared souls? Or scar tissue? Debatable ending. I won, life reclaimed. Lovers found. Villains dust. But victory Pyrrhic, power's poison. Once tasted.
Tempts.
Emily free. But watched, probation's leash. Harlan's ghost? Suicided. But whispers. Faked. Fled to Dubai. Hunt over?
Nah.
American Dream's sequel always writes itself. Final Dawn. Central Park. Emily. Lena. Me, trio unlikely. To new boxes, Emily toasts. Coffee steam rising. Unopened. Unswapped. Laughter genuine.
Tentative.
Changed irrevocably. Life's not hook or twist, it's the thread between. Pulled tight.